Okay, this live stream thing. I just ran like a 4-hour video, and I wasn't even on there for like 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Streamlabs. I think it's just a matter of me trying to figure stuff out with the audio and the streaming. I don't. I think it's a whole learning curve. So it might be kind of jacked up for a little bit. I wish I could. I wish I knew when this microphone was gonna die too. I don't know when. I don't know how to tell when the microphone dies. Just trying to do something here on the computer quick. See if I can tune into myself. I'm gonna see if I can tune into myself. I want to see if I can hear myself once. It might mess up the speakers, but then we're gonna get over here and start buffing this van. I did start taping off some of the trim and stuff. So nice out today. Audio is good. Okay, cool. Very good. It's good for now. Maybe I shouldn't. I just probably shouldn't stream for like 2 hours. That's probably these little cheap microphones probably don't last for that long. All right, flip you guys around. All right, so I did buff a little bit right here. Right here, I did this side a little bit. You can kind of see the difference. It's not really that scratched up. It's just kind of a little bit scratched up. But the worst thing is these like streaks. They just look bad. So I did tape off some of the trim, but I'm just going to start buffing it. I'm going to start with the little buffer, and I'll just do some of the tight areas, or like in here, around the window, and close to anything, close around the handles, the mirrors, any tight little areas. I don't want to use the big buffer. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm just using a little buffer. This is, I don't know if this is a Rupes that I'm using. I think it's a knockoff version. Max Shine has like a knockoff version of the LHR75E. The LHR75E is the Rupes version. This is the Max Shine version. The Max Shine bigger buffers don't even come close to the Rupes big buffers. But the small little 3-inch buffer, it comes not quite as good, but it comes pretty close to the Rupes 3-inch buffer. It's almost like half the price difference. So for 3-inch buffers, the Max Shine works pretty good. And I try to have 2 of these on hand at all times, in case I drop one, or one dies, or a friend wants to borrow one, or this and that. And then as far as the pad goes, I think this is just a Buff and Shine blue, a fine finishing, like not a finishing pad, but a light cut pad, not aggressive cut. Yeah, I don't know what happened with that last live stream. Where do I want to put the camera? Maybe I'll try this. Let me know if that's like an awkward angle. That's like ultra wide, it says. It's almost the end of the day. I've been messing around. I did get started on this a little bit, but this afternoon is just flying by. I don't need to hit it for too long. It seems like it's working pretty quick, which is nice. Yeah, it's nice. I don't have to mess around in one area for too long. probably bad audio with the machine running right in the microphone. That staining's coming out really, really easily. I don't know what it is. Comes right off though. I'm gonna turn, I got the heat on. Turn this heat off. Don't look at my lights. I need to replace the ballast, and my lights have been burning out. It seems like when one goes out, they all start burning out. Hey, Ken. Yeah, them streaks are coming right out. As far as the compound that I'm using, this is just like a diminishing compound. Kind of starts off with a medium cut and then transitions down into like a finer polish. It's a good kind of in between. I usually use the Manzurna 2400 or 2500 for most jobs, especially like most like single step machine cut and polishes, like a one step process. The 24 and 2500 Manzurna tend to work pretty good. And I don't know, it might be time to switch, but I don't really have a main reason to switch besides maybe something that dusts less. But as far this product wipes off easily, and it's been doing the job for. I've been using Manzurna, I'd said, for probably 6 years, 6 or 7 years, maybe more. Back in the day, I used to use 3M, all 3M products, then went right to Manzurna. I was messing around with the YouTube analytics here on my lunch break, and I was talking the last video. I was talking about all the subscribers are unsubscribing. They don't like the live stream. They don't like this content. And it's funny because now it's like 60 subscribers. It's like just as I was talking, like 30 people dropped off. So it might be a race to the bottom instead of a race to the top. We're gonna race to the bottom and see how many people unsubscribe to the. For whatever reason, they probably just don't like the content. Most people aren't going to sit there and watch all day, which I don't blame them. I'm trying to just figure out how to get the audio okay, the video okay, the streaming okay, and then the goal is, short-term goal is to, when I shoot these live streams, to do it as like I can cut pieces out of it and make short content with it, and make shorter videos with what we got out of the live stream type of thing. Then I could have like 10 maybe not 10, but like 5 videos out of one live stream, and I can use the AI software, which I don't even know how to use yet, but that's the goal, is to figure out, because it sounds fancy and it looks cool, to take a bunch of clips out of one video and utilize it for all platforms. So I don't expect people to watch a 3-hour or 4-hour video, but I'm going to utilize that, whatever's in that long clip, and make shorter content with it. It's just I got to get started. I'm just trying to get started. Yeah, because this guy I watch Arthur on Apologia. It's called Apologia Center. He's friends with Ruslan KD, one of the Christian YouTubers. They said they use this AI software where they can grab your YouTube video link, put it in the AI software, and it'll formulate a bunch of different, like 10 different short clips. You can still edit it. You probably still need to do a little bit of work, but you'll be able to pull from the content a little bit easier. And as you're talking, like all your wordings in there. I don't understand it, but he kind of had a quick demonstration video on how he utilizes his live streams to create short content. Don't worry, I'm not going to buff the whole thing with this little buffer, but I'll do might do this edge and the fuel door. This actually wouldn't be too bad, but the pad should fit in this groove okay. But I just want to get all the areas. I could get a lot of this with the big buffer. Oh, this thing has 2 fuel doors, 2 tanks. Wow, I didn't even notice that. They probably all these older E250s, E350s probably all had dual tanks, maybe. Yeah, Arky. I'm just gonna call you Arky. Yeah, you're like my number one viewer. You're. So I definitely appreciate you tuning in. Like you're definitely gonna someday when we have like. So if we're moving in the opposite direction here at Pristine. So someday when we have 5 subscribers, you're gonna be number 1. Once everyone else unsubscribes, no, I do it. The channel grows. It's but it is what it is. Whatever it is what it is. But I do appreciate you tuning in. If no one watched at all, well, I wouldn't be talking at all. I don't think I would just be detailing. I think I wouldn't even open up my mouth. Creating the content and no one sees it. That was like the first couple years of YouTube for us. So that's not too bad. You kind of get used to that. Eventually it'll start to get views once the algorithm picks it up. Greg, hey man, yeah, it is a pretty cool van, 4-wheel drive. She does have nicer wheels for it. She said these are kind of the trash wheels. But yeah, E350. I think it's a big block. We might take off the dog box here one of these days and see what motor's in here. Where am I located? Southern Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, near like Buck Motorsport Park, like Amish country. It's called Little Britain, where we're located. All right. I think I'm gonna move. I'll do these 2 fuel doors, and then we'll go right to this front door. I did it. I already did a couple test spots, so I don't really need to wipe this off right now. I know it's doing its job, and this compound's pretty forgiving. As far as I could wait till tomorrow to wipe it off if I wanted to. It's not too aggressive to get off later. This paint polishes out, like the light scratches are leveling out really quick and really easily, um, which is nice. That's a good thing. Hopefully, when we wipe it all down, we don't put them in just as quick. Hopefully, it's not that soft. I don't think it is. Greg, cool. I'll be in Hershey area next week and have to try to come by and check out your shop. Ah, cool, man. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, swing on by, man. I'm a good distance from Hershey. I'd say I am probably an hour away from Hershey. Um, but yeah, it's not too far. My house is closer to Hershey. If you're going to Hershey Park, you're probably not going. But if you are going to Hershey Park, you got to try out the Ula bowls. Them acai bowls. It's like a fruit bowl with the acai. Oh man, it's like a newfound addiction. I actually bought a whole tub of the acai. That way I can make my own Ula bowls or acai bowls. So good. I could eat them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just it's the acai is kind of expensive. I think it's one of, well, I know, like the owner of Ula Bowls of this company goes to my church. So I talked to him. I think they found it in California. That's how they learned about the acai bowls, and then they brought it here to the East Coast. So I'm a little delayed as far as I think the acai bowls have been around for a while, but man, I don't know. I'm a believer. I think it's an amazing product. Uh, they're just so good. They're expensive, but they're good. I think I bought a third. No, what was it? A, a third of a gallon, or like wasn't a half gallon. It was like a third of a gallon or something, and it was like 35, $36, which is like I don't even know. It was like way more than like regular ice cream or sherbet, but it's like a sorbet from the acai berry. Uh, and he said he sells them by 3 gallon containers. So I want to try. I might buy a 3 gallon, but it's probably like $100 for a 3 gallon. I try to make them myself at home because it's too expensive. Too expensive to go to that restaurant or the Ula bowls every day. But yeah, I got so off topic. But they have Ula bowls at Hershey Park. I was like, if you're going to Hershey Park at the amusement park, you got to go check out the Ula bowls. I'll bring in. Let me wipe this off once. But you guys can kind of see the difference. Uh, Not really shooting to get out every single scratch. Just with a light hit. Just a light hit, it's making a fairly big difference. Alright, let me see. We didn't hit this little machine's not it's not that powerful. It goes to show just a little bit makes a fairly big difference. Alright. So there's that. It's probably hard to see. Looks pretty decent. I don't even know if it's going to show up when we go down here where we didn't buff yet. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see with this camera. Like over here, we didn't do yet. Here, let me maybe bring it down a little bit. Over here, we didn't do. Over here, we did. Over here, we didn't. Over here, we did. It's not, I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's pretty good compared to down there. It's a one-step machine cut / polish, kind of like an all-in-one. Yeah, someone was saying, I think it was Arky. It said if someone came to pick up your daughter in this in high school, you wouldn't let them go or something. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't let my daughter go in this van if her boyfriend or a kid from school came to pick her up in this. Yeah, probably isn't a good idea. I can't get right there. I'm having trouble getting this area right here, so I might have to get a different buffer for that area. Get this little area up here. What should I get for this? Got this little area here. Usually I do have like a little buffer that sometimes gets in here, but it's just a rotary buffer. This isn't too bad. I probably will do this by hand with just a towel or an applicator. But let me go get a little buffer to see if I can get in here, this area a little bit better. Just ignore the mess, guys. I got stuff everywhere. You can see the shape of the light difference? Oh, that's good. It's actually not too bad, so it's hard to see. It's not like the customer will see the difference for sure. There's no doubt about it, especially outside. Then once I put a coating on it, it'll look pretty good. I got this little Rupes buffer. I got two of them. This one, like the clip down inside broke out of it. Now I just gotta find pads. This will probably work. These little yellow pads. This might work. Yeah, that should work. So I wonder this thing doesn't have like a audio meter to tell you if the speaker's working. It does say, like the Wi-Fi says, 30 FPS. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's good or not. It shows the Wi-Fi signal on this app, but it doesn't show like an audio meter or anything. It's a free app. If you pay for one, you get something a little bit better. Yeah, I might not be able to get in there. That's an awkward spot. Keep hitting right there. Yeah, once I use the big buffer, I'll come up in here and I'll try to see if I can get the bigger buffer in here. If not, it's just this one little area that I can't get the buffer down into. Or actually, here, let me get a bigger pad. Hold up. This is like common sense. Should have just did this from the beginning. I'll use this little buffer and I'll see if I have a bigger pad for it. Alright, try this. No, that ain't gonna work. It's still hitting. If I try to rig something up. See if this will work. This might work as long as it doesn't fly off. It might fly off. Whoa. Alright, I can at least get closer. I'm not messing anything up when I hit this. It's just kind of vibrating around it. That's probably good enough. Alright, this area is good. All that area is good. Maybe I will get this little groove here. does have a couple chips. Like there's some chips right here, chip there, there. He does have some little rock chips. This fender's like the worst. A chip right here. I think that might be compound. I'm not sure if that's a chip or not. She does have a couple random chips. I don't think I have this color touch-up paint. This is relatively, well, it's a very easy machine polish. It's just a lot of space. As far as little buffer, I might just hit these flares. I like using this little buffer. I especially on hard curves and stuff, because the big buffer tends to stall out. It's good. I bet you there's no one live streaming a van like this today. You want to see content like this? This is about the only place you're going to get it. Huh. That wasn't a rock chip, it was just compound. Someone else's compound. That's good. It kind of looked like a chip. Like right here, it kind of looks like a paint chip, but it's not. This paint does buff out really nice. Try not to hit the bug deflector. I've already, long time ago, when bug deflectors were really common, I remember ripping one off with the rotary. You catch them just right with the rotary buffer, and it just rips them off. Usually it's best to actually pull these things off. This, I'm not sure. I'm not decided if I want to try to take that off or not. Sometimes you open up a can of worms trying to take off stuff like this on an old vehicle. Alright, that's not bad. This little lip here is kind of questionable with the big buffer. It's really little lip right here. I might just hit it real quick with this little one. So nice, so nice. Usually you can't go this fast. Usually you gotta slow down your arm speed, let the product work a little bit longer, generate a little bit more heat. This paint polishes out so quick. Like I said, it's the scratches that are in it are very, very light. And even them, we're not trying to get out every single scratch, but we'll probably get out majority of them light, very light scratches just from probably a couple washes or something. It might scratch pretty easy. Maybe that's why it's polishing out so easy. It might scratch easy too. I don't know. But the scratches that are in it could have just been from like, it looks, to me, it looks like a brush. It looks like it was hit one time with a car wash brush, and that's it. That's what it looks like to me. but I could be wrong. It's like it was hit one time with a brush, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what did we just do? We better call Pristine." All right, let me get the bigger buffer. Uh-oh, better call Pristine. This definitely is not a Mako job. All right, so what we're using here, I'm gonna try to, this is a used pad. I did wash it, but they still tend to hold a little bit of dust. So I'll just try to get off the dust somewhere else. It's a Rupes 21 millimeter, and then I put a 15 millimeter head on it instead of keeping the bigger, I don't know if it's like a 6 or 7 inch head that the 21 comes with. Just put the smaller head on it. Just easier to handle. I'll put the bigger head on it if it's like an RV or something really big, but for the most part on vehicles, the 15 millimeter head's big enough, or just right in size. I need my stool. Old man stool. Where do we want to start? We'll just start back in this back corner, work our way forward. We just got to do basically, I'm not going to do this area here. I'll keep that separate. We'll get everything here on this lower half. It won't take too long, and then once this lower half's done, I'll probably hit up there then too. But all the tight areas are, the customer, they're good. They're good enough, we'll say. I got to think of a new word that's not good enough. I just haven't thought of one yet. This thing doesn't hit very hard. I'm only running at like 2.5 or so, 3 tops. For this type of job where it just needs a light cut, I mean, even like a Porter cable, like a little Porter cable DA buffer would do the job on this. The only problem you sometimes run into is the head will start spinning or stall out so easily on a Porter cable. But that's why I use like the little buffer on the hard curves. Usually if these buffers stall out, the DAs, even with the washer mod, typically it's because you're on a hard angle and the pad's not flat, and they'll stall out and it won't spin. It'll be vibrating back and forth. It'll still be working to a certain extent. It just won't, it'll stop spinning. That's why I put like a black mark on here so I can watch that to make sure the machine continues to spin. If I start to see that black mark stay in one spot, I know it's not spinning, and I need to change the angle of my pad, or usually just change the angle of the pad. Usually speeding the machine up doesn't usually help that much, or slowing it down. It's just an angle. Go at a different angle and try again. I wouldn't even call this an actual paint correction. It's like just hit it all evenly and you know it's good enough. I'm not really watching too much as if it's removing scratches or not. I know it's doing its job, so I can just keep hitting it the whole way through, unless I come across a deep scratch or something. But I don't think this thing has any deep scratches so far. At least I didn't see them. Maybe I could run like a little tape line. Let me run like a little. I don't do this too often. It's kind of a thing of the past. 50-50 shots, tape lines, foam cannons. I guess all things always come around. But people used to always do 50-50 shots, foam cannons, 5-bucket wash method. Back not that long ago, 5-10 years ago. This is all you've seen on social media. Put a tape line there, buff this half, don't buff this half, and I'm going to sell you a paint correction. Buy this product today, $49.99. Manzurna 2500 cut. This is all it takes. Buy 10, get one free. Will include one bottle of F11 top coat. Alright, did you guys see how easy that was? Here, let me bring you in for a closer look. Let's get this wiped off. It's that easy. Are you guys sold yet? I'm going to remove the tape here. I'll bring you in. I'll show you this difference. Hopefully there's a difference. Hopefully it looks alright. You should be able to see a difference. There, you can see that line right there. You see the tape line pretty. There's some very light stuff still on that right side, but it's for just a light polish. It's satisfactory. It's good enough. Buy yours today. Order it below. 10 easy payments, $3.99. That actually, I mean, people make fun of the 50-50 shots, like running a tape line like that and showing you the difference. Then some guys back in the day were like, you really shouldn't put tape there because now there's going to be a difference in the level of paint from here to there. Now you're going to have a ridge there. We're not taking that much clear coat off. It's very, very, very minimal. But I saw a lot of paint corrections back in the day just from showing like before and afters or 50-50 shots. It does sell. It like changed it almost with red. Typically with red, when you buff red, this is like a lighter. This is like a lighter, like a pink, and now it's back to like how it was when it was painted. It's like pink versus red. Just looks kind of dull with the light scratches. All depending what the customer was using to wash it. Sometimes you get like a soap scum buildup left behind. And that can kind of change the color when you buff that film off from quick detailers or old waxes or soap film or even just water, like film, I don't know, whatever's in your water that leaves a film behind. Once you buff that off, it makes a pretty big difference. Man, no one ordered any of my products. Come on, guys. Mute audio. Hopefully I'm not muted. Muted. No, should be alright. It should be good. Let me go over here once. So I'll check this out quick. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Oh, yeah. I can still hear my audio. That's good. Alright. Can't really see this bottom too well. I think we'll be alright. I do have some lights I could put down below here. But I think if I just keep hitting it how I'm hitting it, it'll be fine. If this were mine, I'd probably PPF the whole bottom, put some big fat tires on it, paint protection film the whole bottom half. Anywhere she's going to put flares, I'd probably put PPF behind the flares. That way it doesn't rub through the paint. I mean, if you unlimited funds, I would PPF the whole thing. Just a chance with that is, like, anywhere you apply that stuff to something repainted, if you ever have to remove it, the paint might come off with it. I don't think this one looks like it was well prepped, well done. Let's shake this up. Doesn't even really have that many dents. Like, it's great. Like, usually you find like little acorn dents here and there, and I'm sure there is. Man, it's pretty straight. Pretty nice. Yeah, that's gonna be good enough. I could get it. I mean, I could get it a little bit better for sure. Spend twice the amount of time on it, I would say. I'm not spending much time on it, but I would spend probably twice the amount of time on it, like buffing it twice. But I don't think it's necessary. I think this will be good enough, and this is what I estimated for. I estimated time-wise for a light one step, not hitting it multiple times, one pad combination, one compound, hit it once, move on type of thing. Not so much hit it, wipe it, switch pads, switch compound, not multiple steps. I'm just glad that it's somewhat working out to where I'm able to do this. This is one where when I did the estimate, I estimated from pictures. So pictures are, on a 1988, pictures are hard to judge. It's hard to judge what the paint looks like. But no, this lady was very nice. Yeah, she's very honest, very nice. And no, yeah, she was straight up with me too, which I appreciate. This lady's pretty cool. I'm in small group tonight. We're reading. Just finished. We read the Book of John where we started. You guys. That's why. we already went over John, so I'm going to read John again so I understand a little better this round, hopefully. uh, but read John, Romans, um, and now we're on to the GE, what do they call it? GE Power Company, Galatians, Ephesians. Yeah, so we finished Galatians last week, so now we're on Ephesians. Yeah, John, Romans, now then Galatians, now Ephesians. It's it's definitely it's definitely really interesting when you get into um, like like you were chosen like before, or you were predestined before the world was created. Like conversations get very, very interesting when you start getting into views. And I don't even have like views as far as Calvinistic views or Arminian views. Like people I watch, like I watch a lot of John MacArthur, uh like Paul Washer, uh what's his name? Vody Buckman, John Piper. I watch a lot of Calvinist type preachers uh, that that are more Calvinist leaning. But now I'm trying to get on the other side. I'm trying to watch more stuff that's not so much Arminian, but like provisionist. I got to see the other side. I can't just lean towards one side. I got to understand both sides, and maybe someday I'll come to a conclusion. But I don't want to ever have to pick a side, or I don't want to put God in a box either. So we get into topics sometimes in small group that we're not even ready for, and we have to move on. We're like, all right, we're not ready for this conversation yet. We don't we don't know quite enough. Maybe someday we'll be able to have a better conversation on certain theology, but it's I think it's good conversation. It's just we can't go that deep into it because we're so new to reading our Bibles. I found myself I did find myself leaning more towards Calvinist type views, but it wasn't because I understood the Bible. It was mostly because I mean some of the stuff I was reading in the Bible made sense, but I was watching all Reformed type preaching. It was all Reformed, and I would catch myself coming across people that had different theology as far as Calvinist versus Arminian and this and that, and I didn't even know what I was talking about, and I was trying to hold my own opinion. I don't even know what it means to be a Calvinist. I didn't even know what it means to be a Calvinist. I just knew in my head that like if these guys, Spurgeon, if all these like very wise theologians, like if these very wise preachers knew all this information, if they're leaning this way, a certain way, why it only makes sense. Why would some of the best preachers lean a certain way? Um, and I don't, yeah, I don't, I can't follow the preacher. I have to follow the Bible, um, and it's just going to take time to work out that theology. I want to know, I want to know, understand it better, but I can't lean towards a certain preacher and be like, I'm just going to believe what this preacher believes because I caught myself doing that, and people started calling me out. And I'm like, I don't even know what I believe yet. I like I like a little bit of all of it, but it doesn't matter necessarily what I like. I don't really like I don't really like having arguments or debates. but I need to know what I'm talking about if I'm going to be sharing with other people. That's why I like reading the book of John. Just come in here in the morning, read it, and try to explain at least what I know, which isn't very much. And I would say, like, if you guys, ever have any questions, let me know. I probably won't know the answer, but we can figure it out together, whether it's detailing related or from the Bible. Detailing related questions. I have a little more background on that. Theology, yeah, not so much. All right, got that area done. I think we're gonna do this top part now. Top part. I'll probably stick with the big buffer. Man, it's already 4 o'clock. Jeez. Yeah, this is going to carry into tomorrow. I expected 2 full days to get this done. Finish buffing it tomorrow and then we'll apply that 1-year coating to it tomorrow. And I'll show you how to apply the P&S coating. It's relatively easy. I'll show you guys how to apply that in case you want to on your own vehicle. I wouldn't say it's like the best of the best, but it's way better than applying a wax as far as the workout to apply it and how long it holds up for. It's way better than a wax. Yeah, I think it's called P&S. Now I'm wondering what it's even called. P&S Inspiration Soul Yearly Coating and Enhancer. So it comes in a fairly large bottle. It's like 100 milliliters. I think it's probably like around $200 for this, give or take. Maybe a little less. I can't remember. But a little goes a long way. It's like a good 1-year coating. It's good for like customers that don't want, well, obviously the 3 or 5 year coatings. The 3 or 5 year coatings, we go all out, coat all the wheels, plastics, trim, with multiple layers. Go all out, spend as much, well, probably spend like a full day, 2 days doing the coating. But for someone just like this, a 1-year coating is going to be good enough. It's garage kept. Takes it out every once in a while. I might entertain graphene coating the top where it's going to get hit hard. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. I got to see how far I get. If I did something like that, it's on my own expense. So I'm not too sure if I want to graphene the top or not. Well, definitely coat it. I just don't know which coating I'll pick. I don't know. I said I'm not going to buff the whole top, but looking at it, it's making quite a bit of a difference. I might not be able to get away without buffing the top. I might have to. Be cool if this app that I'm using for this live stream would read, like when someone comments, if it would read the comment to me with like an earpiece in. Wonder if there's an app that does that. Then I could just respond to the comment like a computer would read it to me. Ouch. I gotta check my audio. Seems like it's going all right. Once this microphone dies out, it sounds like I'm in a fishbowl. Almost done this side. If I finish this little edge, this side will be pretty much done as far as buffing. Well, that side is good. Now I just got to do the same thing to the other side. That other side done. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna turn this off, let my phone charge up. But yeah, tomorrow probably have to finish the buffing and Inspiration Soul, which is anyone can buy this coating. This isn't a professional line of coating, so it's easy to apply and it holds up than any kind of wax. Um, but yeah, we'll just keep buffing tomorrow, a little bit tomorrow, and then put the coating on, and then do little things like the glass. We'll see how far. I'll see how long this takes, like what I estimated, like what needs to get done, which is polishing. On the estimate, it's clean, polish, and apply a paint sealant. So I would like to be able to clean, machine polish, apply a coating, and maybe polish the glass, because the glass is kind of bothering me. It's not an estimate, but it's kind of, I think it'll make it pop if I polish the glass lightly, but we'll see. It's not estimated, so I'm not sure if we'll have time or not. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you also, Arky. Thank you for notifying me earlier that my sound isn't working. That's awesome. Because these messages sometimes are delayed. I think I'm delayed to you guys, so the messages coming in are delayed too. So I don't know usually right away if my audio is bad. But no, I appreciate you guys reaching out. You got my cell phone. My cell phone's right on my website. So if you guys ever have any questions or anything, just feel free to text me. I don't know if I'll respond right away, which I don't respond right away to everyone. Like even my wife sometimes is like, why aren't you? Don't you check your messages? No. But no, thank you so much for watching, guys. And yeah, tune in for tomorrow for more of the Book of John. I forget where we're reading. I think chapter 2. Start chapter 2. If you have time tonight, you could read ahead. That way we know what we're reading tomorrow. But John chapter 2. But anyway, guys, have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.